A deeper look at headlines shaping our world. From breaking news to stories that matter, we bring you top stories, facts you can trust, clarity you deserve, and perspectives that inform. Across nations, across communities, we connect you to every moment as it happens. This is Top Stories, showing every weekday on Ogama TV. Top Stories. Stay informed, stay ahead.
A very pleasant day to you and welcome to Top Stories on Ogama TV. First, to bring you the headlines. On Nations, Bola Ahmed Tinubu assures global investors of fiscal discipline, policy stability beyond 2027. And in Enugu, Nigerian Democratic Congress welcomes new members in the state, expands political base ahead of future elections. And on the foreign scene, Middle East tensions escalate as Iran and United States exchange threats over Gulf shipping routes. And on business, Coinage Fund Management Limited secures securities and exchange commission approval for investments, portfolios management operations. And on sports, Arsenal Football Club edged Atletico Madrid to reach UEFA's Champions League final. Bringing you the news is Precious Chukwuwa. Now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured international investors that Nigeria's post-2027 economic agenda will focus on strengthening fiscal discipline, deepening transparency, and maintaining policy consistency to drive sustainable growth. The president gave the assurance during a high-level meeting with global investors in Paris, where discussion centered on Nigeria's ongoing economic reforms and long-term investment outlook. Speaking at the meeting, President Tinubu said his administration's bold economic reforms were designed to eliminate structural distortion, stabilize key macroeconomic indicators, and lay a solid foundation for inclusive and sustained economic growth. He further reaffirmed the government's commitment to enhancing transparency across the oil value chain, strengthening fiscal management, and implementing a comprehensive security strategy aimed at tackling insecurity and disrupting terrorist financing. According to the president, policy stability and effective implementation remains central to ensuring that ongoing reforms translate into meaningful benefits for Nigerians. Also speaking at the meeting, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, highlighted Nigeria's economic progress, revealing that the country recorded an 11.2% GDP growth in dollar terms in 2025. A development, he said, reinforces Nigeria's ambitions of building a $1 trillion economy by 2030. He added that the government remains focused on converting economic reforms into tangible results for citizens, while pledging greater accountability through the publication of quarterly financial data. Director General of the Debt Management Office, Mrs. Patience Oniha, also assured investors of Nigeria's responsible debt financing strategy and commitment to sustainable debt management. International investors at the meeting commended the administration's reforms efforts and expressed optimism about Nigeria's economic prospects, signaling growing confidence in the country's investment climate. Moving forward, the Enugu State chapter of the Nigerian Democratic Congress has announced the admission of new members into its fold, including supporters of the Obedient Movement and loyalists of former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. In a statement issued in Enugu, the party's leadership, headed by State Chairman Dr. John Paul Ani, described the development as a major boost to its political strength and grassroots support ahead of future elections in the state. The statement, jointly signed by State Secretary Dr. Sebastian Chukwuebuka Okafor and Publicity Secretary Mr. Emmanuel Ugweze, noted that the growing influx of members reflects increasing confidence in the party's vision for inclusive leadership and people-focused governance. Among the prominent figures welcomed into the party are Gail Nnaji, Chief Chinyaka Oha, Princess Adobu, and Chief John Wokabia, whose entry the party says further strengthens its capacity to emerge as a formidable political force in Enugu State. The NDC reaffirms its commitment to collaboration across political lines and emphasizes its focus on key sectors including education, healthcare, infrastructural development, and youth empowerment. Party leader says the latest wave of defection signals a growing desire among the Enugu, for a fresh political direction as the NDC positioned itself as a credible alternative in the state's evolving political landscape. And on the foreign scene, tensions in the Middle East have heightened following fresh military threats and accusations involving Iran and the United States and the United Arab Emirates over security in a key international shipping corridor. Iran's Revolutionary Guards Navy has warned of what is described as a firm response against any vessel that deviates from approved routes through the strategic strait amid growing fears of disruption to global trade and regional stability. The United Arab Emirates claimed it intercepted a barrage of missiles and drones allegedly launched from Iran for a second consecutive day. However, Tehran has strongly denied the allegation, insisting that its armed forces did not carry out any missile or drone operations. Meanwhile, the conflict intensified after Iran reportedly launched missiles and drones targeting American forces earlier this week, prompting a swift response from Washington. The United States Central Command confirmed that American forces struck 6 Iranian boats accused of threatening commercial shipping lane, marking one of the most serious escalations since a months-long ceasefire. Speaking on development, General Dan Kane said US forces remain prepared to resume major combat operations if necessary, stressing that restraint should not be mistaken for weakness. Also reacting, President Donald Trump urged Iran to embrace diplomacy, calling on Tehran to make what he described as a smart decision to avoid further bloodshed, while maintaining that the United States remains fully prepared to defend its interests in the region. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also warned that any further attacks on American assets will be met with overwhelming force. The latest developments have raised concerns about renewed instability in the Gulf region, with global attention now focused on whether diplomatic efforts can prevent a wider conflict. And on business, Coinage Fund Management Limited has received regulatory approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission to operate as a licensed fund and portfolio manager in Nigeria. The approval positioned the company to offer fully licensed investment and portfolio management services, delivering tailored financial solutions to individuals, business and institutional clients seeking strategic wealth management options. Speaking on the development, the company's board chairman, Dr. Victor Benga Afolabi, described the firm as a catalyst for smarter capital deployment, noting that many individuals and businesses often leave capital underutilized or poorly managed due to limited access to expert financial guidance. He stated that the company is committed to bridging the gap by providing sound investment expertise and helping clients make more informed financial decisions. Also speaking, Chief Executive Officer Biodun Oke said the approval marks a major milestone for the company and validates its long-term strategic vision. According to him, the firm is focused on building the next generation of wealth and retirement security in Nigeria by helping clients achieve financial stability, retirement readiness, and sustainable wealth creation through ethical fund management practices and a disciplined long-term investment approach. The approval is expected to strengthen investors' confidence in the company as it expands its footprint in Nigeria's growing financial services sector. Rounding up on sports, Arsenal Football Club have booked their place in the UEFA Champions League finals after securing a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Atletico Madrid on Tuesday night. Following a 1-1 draw in the first leg at the Wanda Metropolitano, the decisive return leg at the Emirates Stadium saw Arsenal produce a disciplined performance to seek qualification. The Gunners dominated much of the first half, and the pressure paid off when Bukayo Saka reacted quickest to the shot from Leandro Trossard to score the only goal of the match, giving the home side a crucial lead before halftime. Despite a spirited second-half response from Atletico Madrid, Arsenal's defense stood firm, denying the visitors any route back into the contest. With the victory, manager Mikel Arteta led Arsenal into the Champions League final, where they will face the winner of the semi-final clash between PSG and Bayern Munich. The final is scheduled to take place on May 30th at the Pukas Arena, where Arsenal will aim to lift Europe's most prestigious club trophy. We now bring you the highlights of the story on the bulletin so far. We brought to you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu assures global investors of fiscal discipline, policy stability beyond 2027. We also brought to you that Nigeria's Democratic Congress welcomes new members in Enugu, expands political base ahead of future elections. And on the foreign scene, Middle East tension escalates as Iran and United States exchange threats over Gulf shipping routes. And on business, Coinage Fund Management Limited secures securities and exchange commission's approval for investments, portfolios management operations. And on sports, Arsenal Football Club edge Atletico Madrid to reach UEFA Champions League final. That's all on the news this hour. For more updates and breaking news, don't forget to follow us on our socials: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, on X at Ogama TV, YouTube at Ogama TV. Also visit our website at www.ogamatv.com. I'm Precious Chukowa. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.
When you think of online TV and radio, broadcasting, media consultancy, event coverage, event management and planning, there's no better name than Ogama TV. But that's not all. We're also into photo studio and coverage, equipment rental, news blogging, fashion and pageantry. We are at number 5/21 Chime Avenue, beside Open Sheraton Restaurant, New Haven, Enugu. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, Twitter at Ogama TV, website www.ogamatv.com. You can also send us email at ogamatv@gmail.com. Ogama TV, your one-stop media solution.